Governor Cuomo, in speaking about America and President Trump, said America was never really that great. Well, that comment got him in an awful lot of hot water, putting President Trump and Cynthia Nixon pretty much on the same side, at least for a moment and a comment or two. John Cuomo has the full story. John, what's happening in New York politics?
Yeah, it won't last long, the Nixon-Trump agreement. This has been building for a couple of days. You remember President Trump was in upstate New York on Monday, and he mocked the thought of Governor Cuomo running for president. Well, since most of Americans' politicians are acting like kids in a playground, it was Governor Cuomo's time to throw some sand. So he did. At the end of a bill signing ceremony on Wednesday, he mocked President Trump's campaign slogan. Take a listen.
We're not going to make America great again. It was never that great. We have not reached greatness. We will reach greatness when every American is fully engaged.
A spokesman later tried to clarify the comment, saying, of course, Cuomo loves America, but it was too late for a clarification then. Trump took to Twitter and wrote, "Can you believe this is the governor of the highest tax state in the U.S., Andrew Cuomo, having a total meltdown?" And then Cuomo responded to that response, of course, and tweeted, "What you say would be great again would not be great at all. We will not go back to discrimination, segregation, sexism, isolation, racism, or the KKK." Cuomo then cited New York's motto and wrote, "Excelsior, ever upward, not back." But wait, there is more. You mentioned Cynthia Nixon, and she is in the Democratic primary against Governor Cuomo. She took the opportunity to weigh in. Nixon said, "I think this is just another example of Andrew Cuomo trying to figure out what a progressive sounds like and missing by a mile." So in this sandbox of American politics, on this day, Governor Cuomo is getting hit with sand from the left and the right. Bill, back to you.
Thank you, John. You can be assured that the war of words is going to continue between all the prospective candidates for president and Donald Trump as we get closer to Election Day. Now, in a related story, there is a brewing war between the press and the president. The president took to Twitter and said this: "The fake news media is the opposition party. It is very bad for our great country, but we are winning." I want to bring in now one of the editors of a local newspaper who is one of 350 some odd newspapers that have decided to take on the president and what they're calling is an effort to preserve the First Amendment. Joining me now is Cindy Merck, who is the editor of the Sentinel of Gloucester County. It's a newspaper in southern New Jersey. Cindy, welcome to Chasing News. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Thanks for having me.
I read your editorial. Let me ask you, in your effort to, according to your words, protect the free press, have you not completely sensationalized the argument as if the president is trying to shut down free press?
Well, he is trying to shut down the free press. And I think it's important that all of us newspapers stand together today, as we have all week.
Do you think he's usurping the Constitution and trying to come in and close your doors, or is this just a disagreement and a guy defending himself with his own First Amendment rights?
As you and I know, when we're at any event and someone threatens us, we have to always remain professional at all times. And having someone point to us, shout at us, tell all of the people there that we're the enemy, it becomes very intimidating. So that's why I think all of us today decided that we had to stand up as well.
Yeah. Okay, Cindy, good to talk to you. Appreciate your time. Thanks for joining me. Jen, I'm going to start with you talking about the war between the press and the president. Now, you heard Cindy, the editor, saying, yes, we are at some level in a battle with the president. What do you think?
Well, I will agree with her to the point that just as the president has his First Amendment right to express his opinion, so does the press. However, Pew Research study has done a media analysis, and 90% of all the headlines on President Trump are negative. So he does have a point to take on the media. However, I do take some exception to some of his harsh rhetoric, but that's just who the president is.
The press has an antagonistic relationship with government. It's almost the job. I think that Jeanette makes an honest point here about perhaps an issue the president has about omission, right? Not covering certain stories. But I would say this to you. There is no message discipline from this president. I mean, one day he's tweeting about nonsense and, you know, he's not controlling his own message. They'd even be able to drive these good stories.
I think he is. I think he controls the headlines more than you even know.
What about this comment from Governor Cuomo? Can't leave that.
Bill, that is one of the worst comments I've ever heard on a campaign trail by a politician, and I think definitely the worst comment of Governor Cuomo's career.
I agree with Jeanette that this is a big gaffe, but I don't think it's going to have any impact on this race that Cuomo's in now. And listen, I guarantee you if he could go back, and it looks like he tried, he would not say it the way he did. It was a gaffe. There's no two ways about it.
All right, thanks, guys.